So, next section we're going to look at is this cube coming off the left hand side of our main cube. To sketch that, we're going to start actually drawing some construction lines where it would come in reality. So again, it's this idea that this cube we know is 40 wide, 40 deep, right? So again, where would it be positioned on this face? If this is 60, we know that we've got a 10mm gap here, 10mm gap here. Again, we've got a 10mm grid on our page, so we can start constructing that quite easily. So again, we're looking at this face here. We're coming down one grid square, in one grid square from the corner, putting a dot. Again, coming from this line, coming in one grid line, coming down one grid line. So we end up with this point here. Same at the bottom, come up one grid spacing, make sure it's across one grid spacing. Same again here on the bottom, in one grid spacing, up one grid spacing. So we've got our nice neat, so basically drawing like a border. Once I've done that really faintly now, because some of these lines we'll have to rub out eventually, we're going to join those 4 dots. So again, one of the key things is to make sure you are drawing on the grid line on the page at the moment. If you've got any lines that are not on these grid lines, you must have done something wrong, so just double check. So again, we've got an imaginary, so lots of this drawing you can't see, so we've drawn this line and this line, this top line here and this vertical line. However, we're also constructing the inside. So once we've got this basic rectangle, we're going to project out a line 40mm from each corner of the rectangle we've drawn. So again, using the grid lines coming out. So I'm going to start at this top point here. I'm going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a little dot there. I'm going to add that line on. Okay, I'll do exactly the same here. So using this corner, I'm coming along this grid line here. So I'm coming out 1, 2, 3, 4. It actually ends up in the same place like this. That's absolutely fine. That's where it is. Yeah. So we've got that line was drawn. We might as well, whilst we're there, add it on. So you can see there's some of the lines we actually need to rub out. So I'm just going to join that up there. So basically, I then need to rub out this line here, because I wouldn't see it, and this line here. So using your rubber, we're going to have a little go at rubbing out. Again, you might want to use your ruler as a guide, just so you don't rub out any other lines. Again, if you haven't got a particularly good ruler, you could use a piece of paper. So I've just got another piece of paper there. So again, it just stops us rubbing away some of the lines I don't need. So what we've got here, we've got this top face here of this rectangle. Again, I'll rub out our construction line. So we've drawn that top face is there. Again, once we've done that, we're then going to come along this line, which is here, and we're going to project out 40mm. So going along our grid, 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw that line on. So that's that line there added on there. You can see we've then got to continue that line and join it up vertically. So if we add that line on, and again similar thing. So we now need to, obviously lots of lines we see here, we need to rub out this line here and this line inside this rectangle as well. Again, use your ruler as a bit of a mask so we don't rub out the lines we want. So we've now got two sides. So we've now drawn this one and this one here. Last thing we can do is just to enclose. So if we think about this line here, we're then going back at 30 degrees along here 40mm. So we go from this point 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue that line. So that's that one, and whilst we're there we can actually finish that off. We're then just going vertically up from that bottom point all the way up to there. And again you can see we've got this detail here. I'll say that at the moment looks like a cube that's not solid. You can see our one's solid, so we just need to rub out this line here I'm just going to go over it a little bit, just redraw that line on. We are going to darken up some of these lines anyway, so I wouldn't worry at the moment. Like I say, I've drawn it a bit darker than you, so you can see it on the video. So we've now got the cube drawn, and we've got this side 40mm cube drawn as well. And then from about the axes, that section is complete.